Good afternoon. Today we're doing a little upgrade. So my plan is to slowly get rid of my supers, which are my least efficient cards, and upgrade. So my latest thing is I've sold 2 of my supers, $500 each, which is not bad, and that has enabled me to buy another 3070, which is identical to the one that I've currently got. It's one with a blower fan on it. Even though they're really noisy, they're actually really good at cooling. Something I've gone on about the heat chamber design cooler before. All the online reviews reinforce that. Let's get it out. Yep. Yeah, pretty straightforward. No back thing on it, which I probably kind of prefer. It's a little dusty, so we're just going to give it a clean up before we put it in. So on the right hand side down the bottom behind that Noctua fan, we've got a 3060 on the right. It's got that modified cooler on the back, and on the right hand side is the PNY 1660 Super, which is going to be removed. And we've still got 2 supers up the top, here and here, and the other blower RTX3070 is there. So let's get the rig powered down and on the bench. Actually, before we do that, I think we'll actually clean the cooler. It doesn't look too bad, but it's been inside a house, friend's house, so I think it's best we pull it apart, give it a clean. So let's do a teardown, I guess. Okay, first up, find out where these screws are. So it looks like I want to try and avoid taking the cooler off. Man, this thing's so heavy. A lot of copper in there. I think we'll just take the shroud off and see if we can clean that up first. I suppose we could always... Oh man, that's tight. I suppose we could just do the pads. Kinda got time, as long as I don't come across any stupid things that's going to blow the time out. When this card wasn't having any overheating issues before I bought it. So 3 screws off the bottom there. Kind of just flying blind here. I haven't bothered to look up if anyone else has pulled it apart. Oh, that's it. It's 3 screws. Alright. Looks like there's a couple, quite a few 6 on the back of the PCB. Hey, almost lost that one. So yeah, the purpose of doing this is I've got this 3070 is replacing 2 supers. So the supers were drawing 74 and about 78 watts each for what was I getting, 64 mega hash. So these things will get around 105, 110 watts for 61 mega hash. So it's quite a bit of a power saving, almost enough to justify another RX 6600, which draws around 50 watts. But the idea of this exercise is to get the most efficient cards I can get my hands on going into this bear market. Because profitability is probably going to be quite low. Ethereum does what it's going to do and finally goes proof of stake. One more screw. Yep, 2 more screws. It still feels like something. I just make them easy, can they? There's always some catch pulling a graphics part. Oh, here we go. Always some catch pulling a card apart. Should make it easier. There's a couple on the end there. I was just going to put this in and fire it up, but I thought, you know, while it's out, best just to do it before it goes in. Nice and fresh. And it's still not coming out. Surely you don't have to take those 4 off as well. Yeah. So you can take those 4 off, but it's not. It's holding it on there. I wouldn't have thought it's really holding much. Feels like it's around about here. It's still connected somewhere, but there's no. I don't see any screws. Yeah. Maybe we'll just take that thing off. Alright, let's take the whole thing off. Alright, let's carefully take this. I always wonder if you can carefully take these stickers off or not. Ah, look at that. There we go. Even got the warranty sticker off. One, two, three, and 4. Alright. Good. Damn, man, it's really stuck. I don't just want to go. Let's take lots of those screws apart, I think. That's a huge cooler. Damn. It's a huge cooler that won't come off. Wow, that is a lot of copper under there. Well, that side's free. Why is this side not free? Hey, there it goes. Oh, check out those components with cool logos on them. Yeah. They're the chokes or whatever they are. They got. Can't see it very clear on the camera. This kind of sucks, but so this cool logo that says DAS. We've got some thermal pads here, some thermal pads here. Yeah, this board. Oh wow, they're really thick. Oh my gosh. And I don't have any 3mm left, so hopefully we don't need 3mm. Let's have a look. .45 for these ones. Look at that, that's like just attached to the, it's like some really thin thermal pad there. I don't know if I can actually get. 0.75. I think we'll just put 1mm on that. So what do we got so far? We'll put 1mm there. We'll put 1.75. Set the gap to 2. Yeah, I can stick 2. So 1mm, 2mm. Actually, right on. Don't forget. 1, 2. That's the cooling. Yeah, look at that board. Gee, it's got heaps of chokes and VRMs on it. Alright, I'll pick these pads. Hopefully they're not bigger than 2mm because I don't have anything bigger. Oh, that's 2mm there. Hey, they are 2mm. Sweet. So they're all 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Actually not that much of this stuff. Let's see if we can get it off. I know this card wasn't quite doing the same hash rate as the one that I've got. So I'm wondering if putting new pads and stuff on it might help it out a bit. Alright. So running out of my cleaning spray. I'll have to use a bit of isopropyl. Alright. Bit of a dirt build up around those VRMs. It's quite festy looking. Should probably wipe that before I get the board covered in thermal paste. Ah shit. Alright, what do you got? Thermal remover. Look at that. NVIDIA. Alright, let's get some isopropyl. Clean off those memory chips. Alright, let's give it a good spray now. What's that? It's a thermal paste on there. Thermal pad, sorry. Oh, that's what I was trying not to do. I'm running out of this stuff. May have to go get some more in the van. What's another way? I've got laying around here to physically remove that a bit. Okay, paintbrush. Oh, yuck. Something got in my mouth. I'm really going to worry about that too much. The problem is this stuff like breaks it down, but isopropyl doesn't really break down thermal paste. Yeah, so it's about to run empty. Okay. Alright, let that dry. In the meantime, I'm going to clean this cooler now. So, why can't we get that off? Probably unclip somewhere, but there's 2 screws. And there, let's get those off. Oh, how silly is that? You can't clean the heatsink without removing the whole thing. Yep, that's what it was. A couple more back here too. There you go. There's our fan and crappy thermal paste. Well, VRMs aren't actually attached to the heatsink, they're attached to this steel plate. It feels like steel. Although, actually, I think it's the weight of the fan that's making it feel like it's heavier than it is. Anywho, and here we go, the heat chamber cooler. So yeah, no heat pipes. There's like a, what was that, about a few mil thick, about 3 mil thick. See through there. It's actually not too bad. Just a little bit of dust on this side. Anyhow, we'll get that off. Go give it a good wash. Yeah, that'll do. This thermal paste on the CPU is actually a little bit dry, so even though the thermal pad still felt okay, it's really good to give it a wash just for this alone. Alright, let's go give it a bath. So we don't want the water to go in this side, but it'd be perfectly safe putting water on this side. And that's a big piece of copper right there. I don't know how much it weighs. You know what? Let's find out. I'll clean it first. Look at that. All that area there is the heat chamber. That's the only area that gets the heat off. And I suppose it has to spread over the size of the heat sink. That's a very good cooler. I can see why these are so good now. I can also see why they're so expensive. Right, so there we go. Let all this dry. See how much this weighs. Curious to know. $587 grams. Alright. Nice chunk of copper fins. Heat chamber all over the heatsink. That's a good cooler, that is, for its size anyway. Alright, let's get these dried off. We're back again and it's all still wet. So I'm going to get my electric air blowy thing that I actually charged, so it'll work this time. Alright. Alright, let's try. Alright, so it's all nice and clean. So now, there's still a bit of moisture residue on it, so I'm going to go have my dinner, stick this out in the sun. There we go. And when I come back, it should be all nice and dry. Let's stick it here in the sun. Do. Alright, see you in 10. Okay, we're back. So, had dinner, for about half an hour, and she's all nice and dry. Look at that. So let's get it back together, get it in the rig. That one. Now, I've also grabbed another can of cleaner. Just to give that board another little hose down. Alright. Alright, I think it should be enough. Grab the electric here. Still a bit of fluff on there. Oh. Clean enough, as they say. Alright, so let's give that those chips a little bit of a clean before I go putting the pads and whatnot on. What have we got here? Thermal surface purifier. Don't know what this stuff's made out of. Doesn't actually smell like anything, but it actually does a good job just doing that final clean of the surface. Yeah. Sucks about the 2mm thermal pads. It would have been really good if the copper just came a little bit closer. Like, yeah, 1/2mm pads, because you just get that little bit more heat off of them, you know. Anyway, it's looking alright. So let's cut up some thermal pads. Little thermal grizzlies. Maybe this out the way. Yeah, I kind of need it there, don't I? That's right, sit there. Now what do we got? 1mm, 3mm, which is empty. 1/2mm, 2mm. Alright, so the 1mm can go after, because that's only on those VRMs. Start with this. Whoa, I don't have much left. Oh shit, have I got enough? Oh, that's going to be pushing it. Add that to the shopping list, I think. Alright, maybe we can get away just making smallish. Yeah. Alright, that's the right size. Let's do that first. That'll do. One. This is be cutting it really fine. Damn it. Eventually I'm probably going to add cooling to the back side of these as well. But, for now I just want to get it in there and going. Also, there's always something when you pull a GPU apart that you miss. Like this case, it's pretty much on the verge of running out of thermal pads. Last time it was all those little hiccups that I had with that 3060, putting that heatsink on. That's not too bad. So I've got another 3 there. So as worst comes to worst, I can use 2 layers of the 1mm stuff, just preferably not in the memory modules. Oh, it's like 3mm off being wide enough, but that'll be alright. I'm kind of squashed down a little bit anyway. Yeah, grab some thermal paste, wherever that's gone, over here. The old Noctua. I usually just do the blob in the middle. The stuff separates out anyway, as long as you got enough thermal paste there. I've been doing thermal paste for forever, and I found it really doesn't make a big difference how you apply it, as long as there's enough there in the first place. Alright, let's give this a bit of a clean up. Oh, look at that, there's actually a copper thing soldered onto the, you actually see the solder. There's actually chunks of copper soldered on. Could have made it just a little bit thicker, ASUS, however you say it. Look at that, this stuff actually polishes copper really well. Go, that's that done. Now, put that aside. There was thermal pads. I just lost that. Back of this. Alright, so I've written the numbers. 1mm there, 2mm along there. So hopefully we've got enough. Ooh. Let's see where they go on the board. Maybe we'll just see if we can place them directly on the regulators. So that goes that way. It was there, so it's actually there and along there. So yeah, we'll just chuck them straight on there. Yeah. Oi! Okay, it didn't break anything. Bye-bye GPU. Oh, almost did MSI's trick, leaving the plastic backing on. Yeah, it's thick enough. Pretty much the same as the original one. Oh, that's just a little bit more. How's that? That's the last of the 2mm. So I'm interested, if you're watching this and you do use thermal pads, how do you find different thermal pads to be? I've just kind of gone with the Thermal Grizzly because I don't know, why not? It seems to always do the job quite well, but I don't know if there's something cheaper out there that does the job just as well. I've seen these expensive ones, Fuji or something. Just I'll put out a little bit more of that actually. Alright, so that's that done. Now we just need the 1mm for down there. That's it, 1mm. I'll put the 1mm. There we go. I don't think I've used much of this 1mm. Look at that, heaps of it. So without a doubt, I've found that the 2mm is definitely the most popular. Oh, it's easier to cut too. Done. Check that back. So there we go. Thermal pads back on. Let's get it back together. Oh, I've still got all my screws. Yeah. Keep them separate. Alright, let's put it back together. If I can remember. Old thermal pads. Okay. So we had this. Now, what was the last thing we did? That's right. This screws into here first. Where does that go? Probably in that way. What way is it? Yeah, this is right. Yeah. There. Jeez, I was just thinking before, imagine having a GPU farm. Having to do all your thermal pads, it would be a full-time job just doing the damn thermal pads. Alright, so that's reattached the way it should. Plug the old fan back in. Just make sure that looks like it tucks up into there. Don't want that getting stuck in the fan. Feels good. Screwdriver's lost its magnetism a little bit. Usually I'd magnetise them, but I have no idea where my magnetizer is, so it's not that important right now. Yeah. Done. So just get a thin cloth and the gold fingers. Clean up. Okay. Clean plate. Lost the screws in the back plate. So yeah, my friend that sold me this, he bought it around the same time that I bought my 3070 last year, but he didn't like the sound of it. But they are pretty noisy, that blower fan. I've been pestering him since he bought it. I'll buy it off him because, you know, I like to have matching cards, this type of stuff. And he's finally decided to get out of mining, so he sold it to me. So probably a little bit more, I don't know, you look at what they're going for now. 1500 still seems to be the going rate for these second hand, which is a stupid price. So I gave him 1200 for this one, but I sold my two supers for 500 each, so it's just a difference of $200. So, well, I see it's an upgrade. Can't afford, I don't want to buy any more new cards, but I'm happy to sell existing ones and trade and swap just to get myself better cards. Huh. There's like holes there that looks like they're designed to have screws go through them, but I was just checking to make sure I didn't put something the wrong way around. But nope, no excess screws, so we're good. Alright, 3 on the side and we're good to go. Let's plug it in and see what she can do. Well, actually I already know what she can do. Make sure it still works. Yeah, it's funny, one of my 1660 Supers is an EVGA. It's got a metal backplate on it. So all I did was put thermal pads between the backplate and the hotspots on the board. And I actually got a tiny bit more hash rate because I realised there's like massively thick thermal pads. Alright, so she's back together. Nice and clean, ready to hash. Alright, I'm just going to pack up a bit here and get the rig on the desk. Alright, that's a bit better, good enough. As usual, I'm very tight on time, so I've got to do this as quick as I can. Jet engine turns off. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Alright, let's get it out. Alright, we've got her up now. So here's my first 3070. Oh. Alright, so now we've got to take little P&Y 1660 Super out. Get that one in. Got my dodgy double adapter there. Unlock. And how do I get that out? It's stuck. Didn't think that one very well. It's alright, I designed these to unscrew for this very reason. Oh, is that going to be... I have to take that fan off. There's a fan at the back. I have to take that off too. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Alright. These are just the rails that I made originally for the... Probably don't even need to be there. For the fans. Should be able to... Damn, that's a tight fit. Of course that one's riveted, so I can't get that one off. It's stopping it going backwards. That little plastic lump there. Oh, there we go. Don't want to scratch anything below it. I may have to pull the 3060 out. Yeah, I'm going to do that, I think. Damn it. Take that out. Oh man, I can't remember how I got it in there. Does that plug into there? Get rid of that crappy fan. Oh, there we go. Remove it out the back. Come on, what are you stuck on now? SATA cable. Move your butt. Alright, so finally able to maneuver that out. It's pretty dusty. The old overpriced PNY. I paid like $570 for that. $579. The old single fan 1660 Super. Anyway, enough chit chat. I'm desperate to get this carded now because I'm, as usual, I'm running out of time. What's that? No, it's just dust. Looked like liquidy for a second there. Alright, let's slide this thing in. Around the SATA cables. Go. Screw back in. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's in. Yeah, plug that in. Alright, now just going to plug the power. And I'll chuck the HDMI adapter in it first. Fan back on. And we are really running low on time. My wife will be home any moment. Oh damn. I'd probably prefer to run that into the 3070. Shit, come out here. Alright, hopefully we've got enough power cables. Ideally I should have those two going into the 70. What we'll have to do is split that. My dodgy homemade splitter. Yeah, that'll probably be alright. You're not running at these things at full power, so I'd rather run it off this one rather than that one. Just that little bit of less wire probably won't make a difference, but ideally I'd like to get a heap of these headers from somewhere and make my own wires up, thicker wires. I always get away with the stingiest, thinnest wires they can get away with. Why is that not plugging in? Oh, because that's one of the dodgy ones that I made, that's why. So only that can fit. Yeah, oh well, that'll do. And back to how it was. It's plugged in, make sure the risers are plugged in. Yep. Alright, fingers crossed she doesn't catch on fire. I mean, it's got the power off the, like what was it, like 150 watts off the slot anyway. I'm only drawing 110 watts anyway. So the real issue with getting power to your GPUs is if something goes wrong, like graphics driver resets, MSI afterburner crashes, and all your power draws go up to 100%. That's when things get interesting, because you mostly run your cards significantly lower on their power levels, which, you know, most of the time they're okay, but that one time when something happens and they're all drawing 100% on a hot day, and next thing you know, you've got melted plugs. Alright. There's a bit of a dust build up on these other fans, but I'll do it another day. Let's just get this. So look at that, 23070s, new one there. Alright, let's power it up and see how we go. Whoa, what is happening there? Oh, the fan's just gone flat out in 3070. Alright, let's go to remote desktop and see what's going on. Okay, so we are logged into remote desktop, not Microsoft remote desktop. So we want to see 23070s. Yes. Damn, it's running slow. Come on. Yeah, controller might still be installing, I think. Alright, yeah, it hasn't seen the new 3070 yet. Hit scan. Alright, gotta go put my kids to bed, so let's let this sit for a few minutes. Alright, so I come back 5 minutes later, and there we go, 23070s. Nice. Alright, now interesting to see how Windows has changed the IDs, what do you call them? So let's just start by firing up Raven Light, which is actually Avian 30X cards. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to turn a light on here. It's picking the screen up too well. Oh, that's a bit better. Alright, there we go. So we got a Raven Light. What cards? Oh, look at that, 84 mega hash. So I'd say that other card is probably joined in. Can't see what cards. 3070, 3070. 3060 as well? Or was it just done the 23070s? Yeah, 23070s. Alright, close that. Now mine, which was the latest one I was doing? Only the supers. Let's see if 3070s picked up on that. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh man, I gotta organize the. So basically, what you gotta do when you add or remove GPUs. So here we go. 3070, 1660. Yeah. So the 3070's taken the ID of the PNY, which was GPU 1. But funnily enough, the older version of T-Rex has different ways of looking at the GPU numbers. So you got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 3060, 3070, 3070, super. But if you do that same order in the older T-Rex, when I'm mining that Avian coin, actually it picks up different IDs. So we'll just close all this off. I'm just going to sort this out because it's a pain in the ass trying to do it. It's going to take me 10 or 20 minutes and that's not going to be very exciting, so I'm just going to go sort this out and I'll be right back. Alright, so it is up and hashing, and after a quick tune I managed to get 59.09 mega hash a second, 124 watts for only 480 kilohash per watt. I was hoping to get in the 500s, that's kind of my goal. We'll see what we can do with a bit of tuning. As you can see, there's my Freak 1660 Super running at 32.46, only drawing 64 watts for 507 kilohash per watt, which is pretty good. It's got Samsung memory, and I think it's just a silicon lot tree on that one compared to some of my other Supers, and just below it, the other Gigabyte Super is the second best. It's got a Hynix memory, 31.72, 71 watts, so a little bit more. Yeah. Alright, so those three are currently mining Ethereum, and the older two cards, the old original 3070 and the 3060, working on that avian coin. Currently spec mining my goal of 100,000 coins, so I'm about a day off, and then I'll just probably go all over to Ethereum while I work out what I do next. Alright, so that's that. Catch you later.